What's up, risk managers? My name is Nasdaq Anonymous, and I'm addicted to the NQ. And boy, is she one hell of a drug. And welcome to tonight's NA meeting, where we'll discuss the economic data for the week, analyze today's session, and from that, build a winning game plan for tomorrow's price action. And if you haven't done so already, you can show your support by subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's jump into the charts now. This is tomorrow's data. Be mindful that all times aren't central time. And we have a big block of news scheduled for tomorrow, so let's jump into it. At 7:30, we got PCE. At 9 o'clock, we have the Consumer Sentiment Index and the 5-year consumer inflation expectation for the month of July. At 12 o'clock and 2:30, we have some crude news and we have some CFTC data being released. And now that we know what to expect, let's jump into the charts and create a game plan for tomorrow's price action. This is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream, and today was definitely a range day. More accurately, even though today the market did trade in the big range, we did see price trend to the upside, and we also saw that price trended to the downside, creating this one big range. And as I analyze the charts, I see about 5 clues that's going to be essential for helping us find the best trades going into tomorrow's stream. So let's jump into it. During the overnight session, we saw that the market traded 243 points to the downside before the bulls found support and traded price higher, where we saw a rejection off the 200 EMA. Once price rejected from this EMA, we had this breaker structure, and we saw the market trade an additional 178 points to the downside before the bulls found support. And from this area, we saw the market trade 502 points to the upside, rejecting at that range that we talked about in last night's NA meeting. And from this range, we saw the market drop 450 points to the downside during the market close. And based on this price action, here's what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow's stream. So this is what I see right now. I see this big range. I see price rotating around this range. And finally, I see this big move up, and I see what could potentially be a 2-legged pullback into support. So going into tomorrow, I'm going to be looking at an area between 915 and 895 for the bulls to come back in for an attempt to retest higher structure. Now, if the bulls fail to protect this area, and we do see that break of structure, my next level of support for the NQ would be around 810 to about 770. Here, if we don't see the bulls find support here and the bears trade through that level, we have a lot more room for downside, and we can potentially give back this entire move that started at the end of May. So it's definitely going to be crucial for the bulls to defend these areas. But if the bulls are able to protect this area and they find support, I believe we can at least get back up to about 150 to about 170 before we start to see resistance. Now, price can definitely continue to trade up higher, but this is the area where I believe that people are going to start taking their profits, and we could see a slight retracement down. But the price action overnight is going to be essential for our bias going into tomorrow's stream. Now, if you're enjoying the content and appreciate the value that me and my trading partner provides to the trading community, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the release of our next NA meeting and live streams. And with that said, let's jump into an ES chart. This is an ES chart, and this is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream. And just like the NQ, during the overnight session, we saw the market trade 57 points to the downside from that level that we called out in last night's NA meeting, before the bulls found support and traded the market 101 points to the upside before we found some resistance, and we saw the market give back the entirety of that move. So it does appear for now that the bulls did find support here at this low before the close of the session. Now, if the bulls fail to hold this area and we don't see a move up overnight and we see a break of this structure, my next level of support is going to be 415 to about 410. Here, if the bulls don't find support here at this range, my next level of support, I believe the market is trying to get to around 5,327 before we really start to see real buyers come back into this market. So it's going to be crucial on both markets that they hold this two-legged pullback into what could potentially be an area of support, because right underneath the lows of both markets is going to be buy stops. And with these buy stops, the markets can definitely use that to fuel the market lower, and we can definitely see lower prices. But the price action overnight is definitely going to be essential going into tomorrow's stream. And in summary, both markets did have a bearish open. We saw the market rally going into lunch. And finally, we saw the market literally sell off and give back the entirety of that lunchtime rally going into the end of the session. And if the bulls don't find support at that area of support, we can definitely see a lot more room to the downside. And that's all I have for tonight, risk managers. And you can watch us trade these concepts live by clicking this video. We'll see you there.